Hey yo, this light is awful. Oh, there we go. Hello, everybody. I'm at Raheem again, and this is log 12. I'm pretty sure it is log 12. So that's what I look at. Today's been a good day. It's been a slow day, relaxing day. I was knackered. I was like falling asleep on the sofa. I didn't go on a hike today. I just relaxed, really. It was just more of a relaxed day. I'm not doing anything. I don't know why I was so tired. I've been taking my vitamins and stuff like that, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know why I was so tired. Anyway, me and my wife went to a house that my mum's gonna rent out to us because we're all moving out now. So we looked at that space. It was a nice space, and it was nice to actually start the process of actually moving. And it would just be me and my wife. So it's like that would be quite nice to actually have that beautiful moment with her. Mm. But I want to rewind and go back to yesterday. So yesterday I decided you won't be able to see it. I wrote a letter to myself, and I told myself don't open it until the 4th of July 2027. So a year from yesterday, that's when I'll be able to open what's inside of this letter. I did it on the moment because I thought it would be nice. It would be nice to reopen this and see, because I'm not going to remember what I've written in here. I can hardly remember what I've written there right now. But I think it'd be nice to go back, well, in the future, to read back and then kind of look back on the year, um, and like see if those things have kind of accomplished what I put in the letter to myself. And it was just more like motivating myself kind of thing. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Um, then I got this sketchbook because I want to start drawing every day. Um, so I want to do that. It's actually pretty cool sketchbook actually. You ain't gonna be see the quality of the paper because this camera is awful. But it's quite thick paper, really nice and soft actually, so it won't leak through too much. So I could probably get some watercolors on that bad boy. Maybe not actually. I think it's not that thick. Oh, actually, yeah, it is quite thick, so I think it would last. Um, I got given this book from someone at my studio. It's like a Japanese dictionary for color combinations. Combination. So it's got like all these different types of colors that you can put together, and it's colors that you wouldn't think you would actually put together, which is quite nice. Um, and I think this book really talks a lot about. I might get this wrong, so forgive me if I do. Um, it's about the color system in Japan, um, and this book talks a lot about how it doesn't matter what colors you put together, it can always work out. You don't always have to match or that the colors have to complement each other. Um, you can try different things basically, which is quite a nice book because the person who gave it to me, she's an artist at the studio and very talented, like super talented. Um, and she was trying to dive into like playing with colors and not having all the colors the same, which was actually it was nice to hear. Because you always think like, oh yeah, I have to do it in a certain way or follow this rule. Um, when it comes to whatever art you're doing. But I feel like with art itself, there shouldn't be a rule. You should just have that freedom of being able to do what you want, not just like painting or anything. I'm talking about art in general, acting. If you're an artistic person, there's no rule you should follow, except from yourself. Basically, that's it. Um, I was going back over this book, and there's something at the start that actually I like, and I said, "Can you always believe what you hear and see?" And the reason I say that is because there's a passage in here where he writes in the introduction. He just kind of talks about the person he used to be, and that you shouldn't expect. You should expect that the person at the end of the book is someone completely different at the start of the book. Um, I won't read the whole thing, but I'll read the small little bit that I noted down, and it says, "What this means is that if I present you with an image and say, for instance, that it was taken at night, You can either believe me or not. It matters little to me, since if you don't happen to know the scene I photographed in my notes, it will be hard for you to find an alternative to the truth I'm about to tell you. But I'll leave you now, with myself, the man I used to be. And the thing why that I think that stuck with me, just because of course, how his life panned out, and all like a lot of the revolutionary things he began in Colombia, in Colombia, in Cuba, and then even in Congo, and before he died in Bolivia. And I think he actually Castro was one of the main. I think was Castro was Che still alive when? Because at one point Castro helped um, South Africa with the apartheid, but I can't remember if Che was still alive. I need to look into that actually. Anyway, the reason why I really like this passage because he says it will be hard for you to find an alternative to the truth I'm about to tell you. And the thing is that you can't always believe what you see or you hear. And he's saying like, I've taken these photos, and you may not believe um, that this photo was real or that this happened or this scene happened or whatever it is. But you just have to take what I'm giving you as the truth, and it doesn't matter if you take the truth or not. And I feel like nowadays, especially with social media and what we see in the news or media or what we get from word of mouth from other people, is that sometimes you can't always take it by face value. You have to look into it yourself, and that's something that's really been big on me as an individual, um, of wanting to always do the research and find out more about what's happening. So if someone tells me, even if it's good or bad, I'll take some of it and I'll be like, okay, I hear that, and then I'll do my own little research instead of just taking something from face value and then. So I'm just checking the time because I know I've got 15 minutes to upload this log before it hits 12 o'clock. Um, the reason why I'm saying that is because the way that the algorithm works in social media is that, for example, someone on the far left and someone on the far right, all they're going to see is stuff about the far right, and all they're going to see is stuff about the far left. And that's all they're going to see and believe, right? So then when you see another individual that's from the far right and you're from the far left, you're going to already have hatred towards them because the algorithm has been feeding you information that aligns with the far left. And that information is going to be telling you that the people on the far right are completely wrong. Hey, I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying. Um, but I think the problem with that is that you're giving them all that information. So when you see someone, there's hatred straight away. There's hatred straight away, even though they're on the same, going through the same spectrum on the other side. They're given the same information. I don't know how to explain it. It's a hard one. I'm not giving people excuses. I don't. People are like, oh, but you're giving them excuses. It's not that. I'm saying that sometimes you have to just do the research for yourself. Like if you get given something, right, and you're a lefty, as they call you as they call us, as they call people, the lefty, and you're given information about the far right. It's your duty to then kind of do the research into that more and find out the truth and what is the truth, instead of just taking stuff from face value. Does that make sense? Anyway, I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. And there was another passage in this book that I liked, and it is, in short, in every typical scene, the town's very breath evokes the time before Spanish colonization. Let me start again. In short, in every typical scene, the town's very breath evokes the time before Spanish colonization. But the people before us are not the same proud race that repeatedly rose up against Inca rule, forcing them to maintain a permanent army on their borders. These people who watch us walk through the streets of the town are a defeated race. Their stares are tame, almost fearful, and completely indifferent to the outside world. Some give the impression they go on living only because it's a habit they cannot shake. When I hear stuff like this, it's so interesting because the passage before that, he kind of talks about how the town he entered was stuck in time, and that it was still untouched from the Spanish colonization or the Spanish colonizers, right? That they still had history, they still had culture in that village, but the Spanish colonizers won by not just changing the village, but changing the people themselves and allowing the people to feel defeated. And I feel like this was a part where he kind of started to realize what's going on in these parts of Latin America. And even he questions it, I think, near the start of the book as well, why it's even called Latin America. Um, I don't know, I just find it I find it very interesting. And I know there's a lot of controversy around the young gentleman. Um, but I feel like from what I've read and seen, he's done a lot of good. Um, and was willing to fight when other people don't want to fight. And I find it so interesting that people praise Churchill when at the same time Churchill did a lot of bad things. But then when there's someone like Che Guevara, people are like, oh yeah, but he's controversial and all these kind of things. And it's like, how he was willing to stand up and fight for people, right? Against capitalism, against the elites, against all these people who were oppressing other people, right? And Churchill, yeah, he won the war, but he was a what they call it, a warmonger. That's what he was. He was a warmonger. He did evil things to the Indians. He hated the Indians. He even says it. There's a, I'll find it tomorrow and I'll put it here. He even hated the Indians. Like he even says it. Like he thinks that they're a disgusting race. And the famine that started in a certain part of India was because of him. And then even the invasion of Iran, when they tried to nationalize their oil, I forgot the president's name. He's the one that contacted America to then start a coup. And then what came out of that was BP, gas, like oil. BP, what we all use in England and around the world, that was the main thing that came from it. So who ended up making money was the Americans and the English. So it's like, you guys talk about certain individuals, but then there's other individuals that you put on a high pedestal who did evil things as well. Does that make any sense? And a lot of people say Che was racist, but then he denounced his Cuban passport and nationalization, and went to fight the revolution in Congo. And I'm pretty sure the people in Congo are black now. Yes. And a lot of the people in Cuba at the time were black. No. Yes. So I don't know. Maybe I need to do more research. Maybe I need to dive in more. So if you feel like I'm chatting shit, put a comment underneath me and let me know if I'm wrong about certain things. And I'm happy to have a conversation and learn more. I ain't trying to argue. There's one thing I don't do. I don't go on the internet to argue with people. If you want to have a conversation with me, or what's it called, enlighten me about certain things, do that, please. If I don't have enough research or I've not done enough research, enlighten me. But don't think I'm gonna have a massive ass argument with you, because I ain't got time to waste, baby. I got money to make, I got people to look after, and I got shit to do. Do you know what I mean, man? So I ain't got that kind of time. I want to talk more, but it's coming. I've got 7 minutes to upload this video, so I'm gonna end it here, and then tomorrow I'm gonna do another vlog, and I can talk more about it, and talk more about my creativity, and I'll do a drawing tomorrow so you can see as well. So, and some sketches that I've been some doodling in my journal, which I can enlighten you guys about. So, thank you all for listening. Peace.